Did you ever stop to wonder how New York's skyline came to be what it is today? It's a tale that begins in the days of the Dutch colonial era, a time when functionality reigned supreme, and the architecture mirrored this simplicity. The buildings were practical, modest, yet brimming with a charm that has endured through the ages. But as the calendar pages turned to the 18th century, a new player entered the stage, the Georgian architectural style. This style, hailing from across the pond in England, brought with it a sense of symmetry and classical details that painted a striking contrast to the simplicity of the Dutch era. The buildings began to tell a different story, one of elegance and refinement. These were the early chapters in the creation of New York's architectural identity. They set the tone, laid the foundations, and prepared the city for the architectural marvels that were yet to come. The foundations of New York's architectural identity were laid during these early periods, setting the stage for what was to come. As New York entered the 19th century, a new architectural era dawned, one that would shape its iconic skyline. The birth of the skyscraper, a term coined in the late 19th century, was a game-changer for New York's cityscape. Skyscrapers began to puncture the sky with the construction of the New York World Building in 1890. This was the city's first brush with vertical expansion, and it was just the tip of the iceberg. In the early 20th century, skyscraper design took a dramatic turn. The neo-Gothic style of the Woolworth Building, completed in 1913, showcased a cathedral-like facade. Its intricate design and towering height earned it the nickname the Cathedral of Commerce. But it wouldn't be long before a new architectural style would take center stage. The Art Deco design emerged in the Roaring '20s, characterized by its bold geometric forms and lavish ornamentation. It was a perfect match for the city's escalating ambition and glamour. The Chrysler Building, completed in 1930, was a shining example of this style. Its terraced crown and gleaming stainless steel spire made it a standout in the city's skyline. Not to be outdone, the Empire State Building, also an Art Deco masterpiece, was completed just a year later. Once the tallest building in the world, it has remained an enduring symbol of New York's architectural prowess. As the city grew upwards, these towering structures became symbols of New York's ambition and progress. In the mid-20th century, New York's architecture took another dramatic turn. A new wave of thought known as modernism swept over the city, bringing with it an emphasis on function and minimalism. The city's skyline was transformed as buildings stripped down to their bare essentials, doing away with unnecessary ornamentation. One of the shining examples of this era is the Seagram Building, a bronze beacon of modernism. Its sleek, unadorned design was a visual statement of the building's purpose, a machine for living and working. Similarly, the United Nations headquarters stands as another testament to the modernist ethos. Its streamlined form, devoid of any decorative elements, was more than just a style. It was a philosophy, a belief in the power of simplicity and functionality. However, as the late 20th century rolled in, the city saw another shift. The postmodern movement, a reaction to the starkness of modernism, made its mark. It brought back the charm of ornamentation and historical references, weaving them into the fabric of a city that was always looking forward. The AT&T building, with its Chippendale-inspired top, became a symbol of this era, a playful nod to the past in the midst of a rapidly changing cityscape. These contrasting movements, each a reaction to the one before, added another layer of complexity to New York's architectural landscape. This ever-evolving dance between the old and the new, the simple and the ornate, continues to shape the city we know and love today. In the 21st century, New York's architecture continues to evolve and surprise. The city's skyline is a testament to the fearless innovation and creativity of its architects. Recent architectural marvels, such as the High Line, an urban park built on a former elevated railway, and the One World Trade Center, the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, have once again redefined the city's landscape. There's an increasing focus on sustainability and adaptive reuse. Old buildings are given a new lease of life, transforming them into modern, eco-friendly structures. The city's architecture is not just about grandeur, but also about responsibility towards the environment. Influences of global architectural trends are evident too, from the minimalistic Scandinavian designs to the intricate patterns of Islamic architecture. New York's buildings are a melange of styles from around the world, making it a true global architectural hub. As we look to the future, one thing is clear: New York's skyline will never stop changing.